No.
I'm not with him.
No.
Yeah. Not by choice, but, I respect him. It's all love.
It's not your choice?
I wouldn't have chose it, but it was what was best.
After all the money, effort, and time Yo Gotti put into winning Angela Simmons over, everyone thought she'd become the queen of Memphis and that the two would live happily ever after. So it came as a shock when Angela revealed their relationship had ended and said she was now enjoying her single girl era.
I had to make a decision, but I think there's a certain level of what I can share and would share publicly. You know what I mean? And I can publicly say that I'm not with him anymore. But as far as detail.
When the breakup news hit, everyone started wondering what went wrong between Angela Simmons and Yo Gotti. People online were throwing out all kinds of theories. Some claimed Angela caught him with another woman. Others thought the gossip about him and Glorilla had something to do with it, and that Angela had finally had enough of the disrespect. But Angela hinted that what really drove her away was much darker than anyone imagined. She explained that when she chose to date a rapper like Yo Gotti, she already knew she might have to deal with rumors and maybe even other women. That came with the lifestyle. But what she didn't expect was to end up in the middle of a dangerous street conflict tied to him. According to Angela, things in Memphis had gotten so tense since young Dolph's death that she began to fear for her own safety. She suggested that until police step in and sort out the chaos surrounding Yo Gotti and his CMG crew, real peace wouldn't return to the streets. This raised one big question. Was Angela truly in danger? Or was something else going on behind the scenes? Everyone knew her relationship with Yo Gotti had been a long chase before it ever turned romantic. Yo Gotti had been very public about wanting Angela for years. He rapped about her, praised her in interviews, and never missed a chance to make it known that she was the woman he wanted. For 6 straight years, he stayed consistent until, finally, in early 2023, Angela agreed to go out with him. When they made it official, the internet went wild. Their chemistry looked genuine, and they seemed inseparable. Yo Gotti spoiled her constantly with designer bags, expensive trips, and flashy gifts. He even bonded with her son, which made fans believe he was serious about building a family with her. Angela also spoke openly about how she saw him as the one and wanted to marry him someday. People truly believed that Yo Gotti had found his queen, and that the two of them would be together for the long haul. But that fairy tale ended quicker than anyone expected. Only months later, Angela confirmed on the Angie Martinez podcast that they had broken up. She didn't go into detail about what happened, but she made it clear that ending things wasn't her first choice. It was something she felt she had to do for her own peace of mind. The internet immediately started speculating that the relationship had been falling apart behind the scenes for a while, and they had just kept up appearances for the public. Fans couldn't wrap their heads around how Angela went from saying she wanted to marry Yo Gotti to claiming that leaving him was the best decision she ever made. It just didn't add up. Nobody knew exactly when things started to go wrong, but the online detectives began digging for clues, and soon, new rumors started circulating. One story suggested that Yo Gotti had gotten too close to his artist, Glorilla. People noticed that he gifted her a luxury Cadillac Escalade IQ for her 25th birthday, right after giving her expensive watches. While some argued it was just a generous business gesture, others thought it looked a little too personal. Given that Glorilla was signed to his CMG label, it wouldn't have been the first time an artist allegedly got involved with their label boss. That theory quickly took off. Many believed Angela couldn't handle the constant gossip and left before things got messy in public. She didn't want to be embarrassed or turned into another headline about a rapper cheating on his girl. But Angela later made it clear that the rumors about another woman weren't what caused her to leave. She said if she wanted to marry Yo Gotti, she easily could have, but she chose not to, because something more serious was happening. Angela claimed what really pushed her to step away was the rising violence connected to Yo Gotti's circle. The tension in Memphis had only grown worse after young Dolph's death. Ever since then, anyone even loosely associated with CMG or Yo Gotti seemed to be in danger. One by one, people started losing their lives in what looked like ongoing retaliation. The first person to go was Don D, also known as Money Childs, who had joked online about Dolph's murder. That incident sparked a string of shootings and attacks that showed no signs of stopping. In 2022, Big Enki, a rapper signed to Moneybagg Yo and cousin to Big 30, was shot as well. Reports later linked him to Justin Johnson, better known as Straight Drop, one of the main suspects in Dolph's murder. Straight Drop, along with Cornelius Smith, Hernandez Govan, and others charged in connection with Dolph's death, were all said to have ties not only to CMG and Yo Gotti, but also to a local gang known as Trula Mafia. The group's leader, Joshua Taylor, who went by CEO Tizzy, was later found dead from gunshot wounds in June 2023. He didn't survive long enough for police to reach the scene. Things only grew more chaotic from there. In September 2022, Memphis rapper Lotta Cash Desto was shot multiple times and died before she could be taken to the hospital. At first, her killing seemed unrelated, but when people learned that she was the daughter of Hernandez Govan, one of the key suspects in Dolph's case, Everything started to connect. Then came another shocking hit. In August 2023, police confirmed that a man named Tomuel Benson had been killed. He turned out to be the brother of rapper Black Youngsta, who was one of CMG's main artists and among the first to publicly feud with Young Dolph. Years earlier, Black Youngsta had even been accused of attempting to harm Dolph, though he denied the charges. Through all of these incidents, Yo Gotti somehow remained untouched. While people close to him were being targeted, he kept moving as if nothing was happening. But according to sources, that might not last much longer. Reports claim that Dolph's crew hasn't forgotten and wants everyone they hold responsible to face consequences. The retaliation has already reached Yo Gotti's family. His mother was nearly caught in an attack, and his older brother, Big Jook, wasn't as lucky. Big Jook had been very vocal after Dolph's death, posting online about it and making fun of the situation. That reportedly made him a target, and eventually he was gunned down. His death sent shockwaves through Memphis and made it clear that the violence wasn't over. So when Angela hinted that her reason for leaving Yo Gotti was related to danger, it started to make sense. From her point of view, she wasn't just walking away from a relationship. She was trying to protect her life and her family. She didn't want her name tied to the ongoing street war or to become another casualty in a feud that seemed to have no end. Angela's breakup wasn't about drama or gossip. It was about survival. She'd seen enough and decided to step away before things got even worse.
I don't play no bitch beside two real niggas. Two real niggas with a pussy in the middle, man. Y'all don't do that, man. Don't fuck with our legacy. So pussy right here, y'all. Two guys.
Reports later claimed that Big Jook was the one who allegedly put a $100,000 bounty on Young Dolph's head, giving people a reason to go after him. That rumor alone made Dolph's crew determined to strike back. In January 2024, Big Jook was shot and killed while attending his uncle's funeral. To this day, no one has been arrested for his murder. With his death, many felt the cycle of violence had finally come full circle, and those loyal to Young Dolph could finally rest, knowing they had gotten their revenge. The level of retaliation seen after Dolph's death was unlike anything Memphis had experienced before. Over the span of 3 years, the city was caught in a wave of shootings and deaths that all traced back to the feud between two powerful figures in Memphis rap, Yo Gotti and Young Dolph. What made it all worse was that it didn't have to happen. According to many in the community, the entire situation could have been avoided if Yo Gotti had simply accepted that Dolph didn't want to sign to his label. Back when Dolph was rising, Yo Gotti admired him for being independent and talented. But when Dolph refused to join CMG, things reportedly turned sour. Instead of respecting Dolph's decision, Gotti saw it as a challenge. That's when the tension started. Their rivalry grew from subtle competition to open hostility, and before long, it spilled out of the music industry and into the streets. Yo Gotti's attempts to pressure Dolph into signing under CMG created resentment that never went away. The feud escalated through diss tracks, public insults, and alleged street confrontations. What began as a disagreement between two successful rappers ended up sparking one of the deadliest rivalries in hip-hop history. The violence that followed took out friends, family members, and associates on both sides. Now, years later, the consequences are still unfolding. With the ongoing trial over Young Dolph's murder, Yo Gotti's name has come up again. Legal experts believe the rapper could face more trouble depending on how the case develops. One of the main suspects, Hernandez Govan, who was accused of organizing the hit on Dolph, was found not guilty on August 21, 2025, of conspiracy and first-degree murder charges. During the trial, Govan's defense team built their case around one major argument. Prosecutors never questioned the right people. They pointed out that law enforcement ignored key figures like Yo Gotti and Big Jook, even though both had long-standing ties to the conflict with Dolph. The defense argued that investigators went after easy targets instead of following the real trail of power and influence behind the scenes. According to Govan's lawyers, he was nothing more than a pawn, a disposable figure in a much bigger game, controlled by CMG and Yo Gotti. By the time the trial ended, the public was left wondering whether justice had truly been served or if the people truly responsible were still walking free.
And then have the cameras rolling on a high-profile case to pressure you to commit a verdict of guilty is happening here. And just because he's a nobody and doesn't have money like Gotti or Jook, his brother, who was never even questioned or charged, he's the fall guy in all this stuff. He didn't do anything.
With Hernandez Govan being cleared of all charges, things took another shocking turn. The streets are restless, demanding that Young Dolph finally get the justice he deserves. Word going around is that federal agents are now looking deeper into Yo Gotti's camp, as much of the evidence seems to trace back to CMG and possibly Yo Gotti himself. According to Angela Simmons, this was exactly why she decided to walk away. She didn't want to end up caught in the middle of a war that had nothing to do with her. She reportedly feared that Dolph's crew wouldn't wait for the justice system to do its job. With Hernandez walking free, No one could say for sure if they'd take matters into their own hands again. The violence in Memphis had already proven that retaliation wasn't off the table. Angela didn't want to risk becoming collateral damage in something that was spiraling far beyond her control. Online, people quickly backed her decision. Many said they understood why she got out when she did. Others went even further, saying this might just be the calm before another storm. There's growing talk that Yo Gotti and CMG could soon be facing a RICO investigation. Fans pointed out that if the feds start connecting all the dots, the gang ties, the money flow, and the chain of killings, it might only be a matter of time before charges start landing. Commentators across social media began weighing in. Whack 100 even said, Yo Gotti about to get a RICO next. And I'm telling y'all, don't get caught up in that street life if you don't have to. They want us destroying each other while they sit back and watch. To them, it's just entertainment, like a game of cops and robbers. His words hit hard because it summed up what so many have seen over the past few years. Endless violence with no real winners. Meanwhile, fans of Young Dolph pointed out how brutal the aftermath of his death had been. They said his crew didn't wait around for courtrooms or verdicts. They handled things their own way. One viral post read, Young Dolph's squad took out nearly everyone connected to his death. Those shooters ran to the police for protection when things got real. No sympathy, no RIPs, just revenge. That's what real street justice looks like. Now, people are debating whether Angela's decision to distance herself from Yo Gotti was smart or unnecessary panic. Some say she did the right thing by choosing her safety over. Others think she might have been overreacting to rumors and online theories. Still, most agree that if a RICO case really is in the works, she avoided a massive mess just in time. As it stands, the tension between the streets and the law continues to rise. If federal investigators do move forward with charges, things could get ugly fast. Until then, people are left to guess what comes next. Was Angela wise for running when she did, or did she just get scared too soon? Let us know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.